Consistency. Where is the consistency? Howard Webb, we need answers. And Liverpool might actually be the real deal, people. Liverpool might actually be the real deal. And Chelsea, after scoring six last week, where did you guys go to this week? This is Mind of the Football Fans Podcast. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind of the Football Fans Podcast, your go to home for all things Premier League. Thank you for joining us on another episode. This is episode 4, Match Week 3 review and analysis. Here to break down everything that happened in Match Week 3, all the drama, all the goals, all the actions, all the conspiracy theories, whatever you guys want to call it. We're here to break it all down. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys liked the last episode where we broke down Match Week 2. Please don't forget to, if you haven't watched that, go watch that. We had some good stuff there. But this is Match Week 3. Yes, a lot happened in Match Week 3. But before we get into Match Week 3, I had to start by saying thank you guys so much for all the appreciation, all the love that you guys have been showing us on every platform, on our TikTok, on our Instagram, pretty much everywhere. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Thank you for liking. And as usual, don't forget to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about us. Tell them to tell their friends about us. Let's keep the vibe going. Let's keep the love going. And don't forget, this is not the only place you can find us. You can find us pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Our videos are on Spotify now, so you can find us there. So feel free to check us out. Check us out on our socials. We drop amazing content for you guys there. Also, Instagram, follow us on Instagram. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. So let's get straight into it. Match week 3. Match week 3, yes. We are 3 match weeks into the season. So what's that? 35 more to go. Again, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. So let's get right into it. Starting with the game of the week. Or in other words, the beating of the week. Man United 0, Liverpool 3. Let's start with Liverpool for a minute. This was a comfortable win for them. Everyone gave everything. And I'm going to just take a breather right now and just say, this Liverpool is just different. Like, there's just, and I know I said this last week, and I'm just keep saying it just because there is something different about this Liverpool. Their tactics are different. Pressing, obviously, yes, they are pressing just like how Klopp taught them how to press pretty much. But the pressing is still different. And the tactics in place that Arne Slot has brought in, you can see the players have bought in 101%. Like, it's crazy how from match week 1 you could see how the tactics are working. And that's not just the coach putting it into them, but that's also the players. So we have to give the players credit because they have bought into these tactics. There are so many coaches that have come in and they have tried to implement their tactics, and it's just not, the players haven't just bought it, but credit to Liverpool players, they have bought in the tactics. And Slot has somehow managed to transcend these tactics that they are buying into it so easily, which is bizarre to think. Everything is just different. There's a calmness. Like, you watch Liverpool and there's a calmness about, like, you see the calmness around their pressing, you see the calmness around their passing, you see the calmness even around their goals, around their celebration. And I think it just stems from Arne Slot. Arne Slot and his calmness around the whole Liverpool team is crazy to see. And since we're talking about tactics, let's talk about Liverpool's tactics, precisely using the two holding midfield players, Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister. Those two play holding midfielders. Technically, they are not holding midfielders, but Slot is using them as holding midfielders. Those two holding midfielders allow Dominic Szoboszlai in the middle, Salah on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, and Jota in the middle to press. And the pressing is just different. Like, you cannot hold the ball for more than 30 seconds. Like, take for instance, United could not hold the ball for more than 30 seconds. They could not string together three good passes. I think the max, and I pretty much counted this, the max they strung together was about five passes, bam, 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 and before Liverpool could get the ball, which is crazy. So those two holding midfielders of Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister allows those front four players just go and press, and they press as a unit. That's what is so amazing. Or the press starts from the front and they press as a unit. That is just crazy. And it's working for them. As I said, Liverpool win the ball at least 30 seconds after they lose it, which is crazy. Which like they press from they pretty much defend from the front. So by the time the ball by the time you even break the press and actually get the ball to the midfield and you break the press in midfield, you then get to defense, you kind of lose the ball already because they already have things in place to get the ball. Like it's simple and it's crazy. It's so crazy to think. I want to shout out one player precisely from watching this game, and I think just watching from match week one, this player has been really consistent, and that's Ryan Gravenberch. Him being, I think against Ipswich, it was more of a one. He was the holding. Against Brentford, you could see McAllister come back also, but against Man United, Ryan Gravenberch and Alex McAllister. Obviously, shout out McAllister, but Ryan Gravenberch, he was everywhere. He was the one that won the ball for the first goal. Yes, for the first goal off Casemiro's weird ass pass. He was pretty much everywhere on the field, left, right, front, back, center, middle, whatever you want, whatever. He was pretty much there. So shout out to Ryan Gravenberch. He's just been a model of consistency. His game since match week one has just been improved. And I think this is as a result of having consistent game time. Obviously, when Klopp brought him, he was in and out of the team, not necessarily starting every game. But now that slot has come in and has seen what this guy is good at, and he's using him for what he's really good at. You can see how good of a player he is. So shout out to Ryan Gravenberch. Another player I want to shout out is Dominic Soboslai. Dominic Soboslai has been amazing, especially and I want to credit his, and I know I said this last week, but I want to credit again his work ethic. He's tracking back. He goes back and forth. Like there are times where he's literally up in the field, he has lost the ball, and then they are counter attacking or the other team is going to try and score, and he tracks back and he gets a tackle and he gets the ball. I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. So shout out to Dominic Sobs. I think he's taking his game up just that little bit, and now you see he's obviously, we all know what he could do offensively, but now you see him defensively amazing. But also shout and this just in passing, shout out to Mo Salah. Mo Salah just enjoying, and obviously we all watch his press piece. If you didn't watch it, but you should go watch his press conference. Yes, sorry, post match conference yesterday. Said, this is he's entering into his last year of his contract. He's just here to enjoy the vibes, enjoy the feeling of, and you could see in his play, he's literally just enjoying playing football. See the outside of the foot pass for Luis Diaz's second goal, or the cross with his weak foot for the first goal. That's just enjoyment. You can see it in his face. Obviously, with the new haircut, also enjoying the football. The aura around him is just oozing of enjoying football at the moment, which is crazy. So shout out to Mo Salah, shout out to Luis Diaz also enjoying it. Shout out to Jota. As I said, that front four just as a unit together, amazing. Yes, I know. We have bigged up Liverpool. Let us go. Let's move on to United. As I said, this was a beating. This was meant to be the game of the week, but obviously it was the beating of the week. So let's move on to Liverpool. Sorry, to Manchester United. Where do I start with United? And I'm going to start with this Casemiro. And I'm not going to disrespect Casemiro in any way. And I'm not going to be like Jamie Carragher that said, leave the football before the football leaves you. No. Casemiro is still a wonderful player. Casemiro has so much experience, so much to still give this game. Forget his age, forget the mistakes he made, whatever. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say is we know every player has a bad game. Let's be frank. Every player has a bad game. And this game was just really bad for Casemiro. And that's where I'll stop with it. Obviously, there were so many misplaced passes. He misplaced the first pass for the goal. He misplaced the pass for the first goal. He hung on the ball too much for the second goal. At halftime, obviously, Ten Hag needed to change something, and he was a scapegoat. He was a scapegoat and something. He didn't even come out. If I remember correctly, he didn't even come out for the second half. I look at it as this is just one of those his bad games. Every player goes through a stretch or maybe just a game of just not playing very well. And for him, this was one of those games. I know that he will bounce back. He has bounced back. Beginning of the season, he was playing very well. We don't know what's going on with him, but I know that he will bounce back. So that's why I'm going to start. Again, I will not disrespect Casemiro and say, "Oh, Casemiro is terrible." What? No, 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 no. I look at it as this is just one of those bad games from Casemiro, and he will bounce back. Another player I want to call out from United is Marcus Rashford. I don't know what's going on with Marcus Rashford. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's lack of confidence. I don't know what it is, but Rashford is not just on it. And this is stemming back from all the way to last season. He's not just on it. He had the whole of the summer off. No international football, no nothing. He has 2 weeks off now again. No international football. He needs to come back. He needs to get himself back. And I said this earlier. I don't know if he needs a change of scenery or something, or he just needs to leave United as a whole. But Marcus Rashford needs to come back. He needs that confidence. He needs his shooting back. He needs his taking on defenders back. He needs his speed. Like, he just needs everything, Marcus Rashford. Right now, he just looks like a squad player. Like one of those players where I'm just there for being there. Like, where are you, Marcus Rashford? We need those runs in behind where Bruno can just ping a ball to you and then you take on the defender, you cut in and you shoot. Where are you, Marcus Rashford? So that's another player I want to shout, I want to call out. And obviously there are other players, but those are just Marcus Rashford precisely. Casemiro, as I said, this was just a one-off game. You will definitely not see this. We know what Casemiro has done. He has been a model of consistency for the last 10 years. Just because he had one bad game doesn't mean anything. But Rashford's zone is just different. We need Rashford back. We need the Rashford of 20. Oof, I forget the year. The year United finished second or third. That Rashford where he was pretty much on a stretch of just scoring goals. We need that Rashford back. And last but not least, Ten Hag. I'm not a big fan of Ten Hag. I've said this, you keep hearing me say this. I'm not a big fan of Ten Hag. But United fans, do not panic. This is just three. We're just 3 games into the season. Yes, we know. 3 games, one win, 2 losses, one at home. Let's forget all that. He still has 1, 2 trophies. Let's not forget that. You know, I do not agree with all his comments sometimes, especially the latest one he came out with the saying at the end of the season we'll see. I don't think United will win any trophy this season. But do not be worried, United fans. This is not time to hit the panic bell. Just be calm and give this team time to grow. As I said, give this team time to grow. Yesterday we saw good defending. Well, yes, good defending. As I said, obviously all 3 goals were mistakes. It happens. But United fans, do not worry. Be calm. Be calm. We don't want to. I don't want to hear Ten Hag out. This, that. Nah, 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 nah. Calm. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say on the game. But yeah, credit to Liverpool. 3 games. What is that? 4 goals, 7 goals scored, 0 conceded, 3 clean sheets. Pretty much all you want your season to start going into the first international break. So big ups to Liverpool. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next game. Arsenal won, Brighton won. Arsenal had control of this game. Amazing goal by Kai Havertz. Love the keeper. Obviously, Saka with his third assist in a row, getting off the ball from Dunk, giving it to Havertz, then Havertz thinking the keeper, good stuff from Havertz. And then we go to the play of the game. The red card. I was watching that live, and as I always do, I try to watch all games, but this one precisely, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I watched this game with much more detail and attention, and that play happened, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, fair. The defender should have been booked for kicking Declan Rice. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. The ball had already gone. He knew the ball. He was looking on the ground. The ball had gone, and he kicked Declan Rice. So the defender should have been booked. But I will say this: by letter of the law, yes, it's justifiable. The yellow card is justifiable. I'm going to take you back to another incident that happened in the first half. Joao Pedro throwing Arsenal's ball. Joao Pedro kicks it like 40 yards out. And Fabian Hurtzler, the Brighton coach, came out after the game and said, there are two different situations, this, that, that one is dynamic, one is blah, blah, whatever he said. Scratch all that. No, it's still the same thing. You kicked the ball 50 yards, 10 yards, whatever it is, the ball was kicked. Joao Pedro was not booked. Joao Pedro was not even talked to by the referee. Where is the consistency? Obviously, Declan Rice was booked already for a foul he committed earlier in the game. Okay, why couldn't Chris Kavanagh go up to Declan Rice and be like, this, take your time, common sense. We know everyone says common sense, but we forget to say common sense is not common. And this is not a dig at the referee, it's just me being, whatever it is. Chris Kavanagh could have just gone up to Declan Rice and be like, you did this, don't know, or like, just talk to him. I just think that was harsh. Again, unfair. By letter of the law, yes, that deserved a yellow card. But then consistency. This is where consistency comes in. Why couldn't he, if he booked draft Pedro in the first half, fair enough, no complaints. But he did not book draft Pedro. He did not even talk to him, nothing. And then Declan Rice. And I'm going to pose this question. You guys can answer in the comments. If Declan Rice hadn't fallen down, would he have been booked? Just think about it for a minute. If Declan Rice hadn't fallen down, and if Declan Rice had done what he had done and just walked away, would Declan Rice have been booked? I feel no. But let me know in the comments. You guys tell me in the comments. So this is what it is. We just want consistency. As I said in my intro, where is the consistency? It is what it is. But credit to Brighton. Obviously, as it should, the game changed with the red card. Credit to Brighton. They have won 2 out of 3 games. Obviously, third position on the table now. No one really cares about the table right now. We're just 3 games into the season. When we reach 15 games into the season, we'll start caring. But credit to Brighton. Credit to Fabian Hurtzler, the new coach, the youngest coach in the Premier League. I finally learned how to say his name. Credit to him. Again, another new coach that's come in, and the players have quickly bought into his tactics, bought into his system. So credit to Brighton. Deserved their 1 point. Again, the game could have gone in any direction. Arsenal had 2 amazing chances with the 10 men. The game could have gone in any direction. Brighton, I think, to Raya made another amazing save. He tends to make saves nowadays that he's literally off balance and he's just saving the ball. So credit to Brighton. It is what it is. Obviously, Arsenal dropping points in a league where City are pretty much perfect. Obviously, you look at it and be like, Arsenal shouldn't be dropping points. But let's still, as I said, this is a marathon and not a sprint. There are still 35 more games to go. Champions League starts next week. Everyone is playing literally every 3 days. So we'll see. I'm not too worried. I'm not too bothered. It is what it is. Again, consistency. Moving on to the next game. West Ham 1, Man City 3. I'm going to start by this. Haaland is on a mission. Haaland is ready to take, and I know it might sound cliche, but he's taking this league by storm. Back-to-back hat-tricks. He now has 8 hat-tricks in 64 games in the Premier League. He's on the verge of breaking Aguero's record of 12 hat-tricks in 200 less games. 200 less games. That is mental. That is mental. Aguero has 12 hat-tricks, obviously. Erling Haaland has 8. He's 30 goals away from 100 Premier League goals in less than 100 games. That is mental. Erling Haaland is mental. His numbers are bizarre. I'm saying when it's all done, said and done, let's keep Ronaldo and Messi. He might have those Ronaldo Messi like numbers. That's what it is when it's all said and done. He might have those Ronaldo, Messi numbers. It's crazy. 100 Premier League goals in less than 100 Premier League games. 12 Premier League hat tricks in 200 less games than the person with the most hat tricks in Aguero. Bizarre. It is what it is. Another thing I want to talk on about City is this. City look different. And in this is what I mean. They're just going about their business on the low. No one is really talking about it. Obviously, Haaland is scoring hat tricks here and there, but no one is really talking about Haaland or talking about, um, or how City are going. No, no. It's like they're just going about their business on the low. Obviously, no big signing other than Gundogan. But after that first day, no one really paid attention. No one is paying attention to City. And the scary part about it is that this City team is still not yet whole. They are not yet whole. Phil Foden did not play. John Stones did not play. Kyle Walker did not start. Rodri, their best player, did not start. So what happens when all these guys come back? Scary. Scary times ahead. City rivals be scared except Arsenal. I still think Arsenal win the league. I said this last week and I've said it again. Other City rivals be scared. If you're not Arsenal, don't worry about it. You have what it takes to beat City. It might be my bias talking, but it is what it is. I stand by my Arsenal winning the league prediction. But yeah, City's team is not yet complete, and that is actually scary. The fact that they are not complete, but they are still putting up numbers. I think they have scored the most. Haaland has more goals than pretty much every team in the league, or he has as much goals as the team with the most goals in the league, right? Which is I think should be City or Liverpool, seven or so. 7 goals in 3 games is crazy. So credit to City. They'll still not win the league, but rival fans other than Arsenal be scared. Be scared. Because when this team is whole, it is what it is. Just to touch on West Ham a bit, um, it's one of those games where you can't really say anything. It's just City being City. West Ham take it to the chin. You lost to the best team. There is nothing in that. Um, I will give West Ham credit. They did come out. They didn't just do the whole sit back type thing. So credit to them. Credit to West Ham, man. It is what it is, it is what it is. But moving on. Chelsea won, Palace won. Shout out to my guy NK for this saying, and I got the saying from him. It looked like Chelsea scored all the goals for this week last week. Shout out to NK for telling me that, and I'm kind of using it right now. Yeah, Chelsea could not score to save their lives after the first goal. Couldn't just score. Palace kind of grew as the game went on. Kind of held Palmer. Palmer couldn't do what Palmer usually does. So that was really sad to see. But again, Jackson scoring goals. I know we ridicule Jackson, we troll him, we do whatever, but he's actually very good. And I'm one of those people that troll him, yes. But Jackson is actually really good. His numbers are actually really good for a striker. Not penalty goals. I think he has the most outside. I can't remember who it is, but it's crazy. Good for him to score. Keep improving in a team where Chelsea keep looking for number nines, for him to still put the numbers he's putting on. And I think his relationship with Cole Palmer and on Madueke, I think also helps him. Like, let's forget all the penalty scuffle last season. I think they have grown and all matured together. So big ups to Chelsea. Big ups to Palace. Finally, they got their first points. I still have them as my um overachievers of the season. Eze, what an amazing baller. He's a baller, proper baller. He is what a goal by him. Big ups to him. And that's what I'll say. Chelsea, better come. I hope you did not score all your goals for the next 3 weeks, next 3 match weeks. Last week, just say it. Just say, just a little bit of throwing here and there. This is what it is. But moving on. Let's talk about another London team. Precisely not London rivals, Spurs. Newcastle to Spurs 1. Spurs doing Spurs things as well, they had all the possession, all the touches, all the whatever you want, all the football stats you could call. They pretty much had it. And Newcastle just did Newcastle, played defense, played on the counter and cut cut out Spurs. Spurs doing Spursy things, or rather, Ange Spurs doing Ange Spurs things, playing that high line, the defenders not knowing when to play high or when to step back. And Newcastle just took control of that, took advantage of that, my bad. Um, beat the press, beat the high line, got the ball to Jacob Murphy for Isak's goal. This is what it is, Spurs. And I'm going to put this out there. You can also tell me in the comments too. In an alternate universe, we all know Ange said he's not going to change his style. The style he has set is the style he will keep playing by. They live by it, die by it, live by the high line, die by the high line. But in an alternate universe, there a possibility that Ange might change his style of play? I'm just saying. In an alternate universe, would Ange change his style of play? We don't know. We'll see in an alternate universe. But yeah, credit to Newcastle. Newcastle had a quiet transfer window. No one really said anything about them. Other than Lloyd Kelly, they didn't really sign no one. Obviously, they had a bid for McGahey, rejected, I think, up to 65 mil. Um, just going, and Newcastle is one of those teams too on a low. No one is really talking about them, just like City. No one, everyone's talking about the Chelseas, the Arsenal, the Liverpool. No one is really talking about City. And Newcastle is one of those teams too. No one is really talking about them. Hopefully, they keep up the good work. They've kind of reamped their defense. Obviously, the usual guys that would be starting are not really starting. They look to be have Eddie Howe has them playing a type of way, and it's working for them. And it is what it is. So, big ups to Newcastle. Let's all laugh at Spurs. Spurs doing and Spurs things, playing highline and getting caught out. It is what it is. So big ups to Newcastle. Big ups to Newcastle. Let's move on to another game of that kind of had a lot of drama in it. Everton 2, Bournemouth 3. Everton with 10 minutes to go while leading 2-0. If you watch that game, you are like, Everton have finally figured it out. Everton this, Everton that. Everton playing control ball, amazing ball, having chances, creating chances. 2 goals to the good. Okay. Yes, Everton were playing really good. And then with 10 minutes to go, they give up 3 goals. Sorry, my bad. 3 goals. They give up 3 goals. That is bizarre. Everton, I don't know what's up with Everton this season. I'm thinking about switching up my prediction of they might not fight relegation. And I can't remember where I heard this from, but someone said everything can play like this for the next up until January. And then they can just go on like a 5 game winning streak and then they'll end up not fighting relegation. And that's kind of what I see happening. They might just have like one win in like ten games. And then in February, they win like all their games February. And then they are pretty much out of relegation. Mental. Everton doing Everton things. That's crazy. But big ups to Bournemouth. Andre Iraola has really set his marker down on that team and is visible. You could see they are playing to his standard. They are enjoying the football there. Big ups to Bournemouth. Big ups, but again, another comeback win. I think last year they had a comeback win against Luton, if I remember correctly. This time again, same thing. 10 minutes to go. Crazy game. Big ups to Everton. Another result, just to touch on it, Ipswich won, Fulham won. Ipswich getting their first point in 22 years. This guy from City, this striker from City, Dub, Liam Delap, scoring Luton's first goal in the Premier League in 22 years. Kudos to Luton, getting their first point. Amazing game. Fulham, this is what it is. We move on. Let's move on to another game. Leicester 1, Villa 2, Aston Villa 2. I think this was a derby. I don't really know the name of the derby. Um, Watkins, and what I want to say about this game is, and I know it is nothing really big, but Oli Watkins, obviously he had the assist. He assisted Andre Onana. Good bit of business by Aston Villa signing Andre Onana. So big ups to him. Big ups to him. But my question from this game is, how long would Watkins go? Because it looks like Watkins is he's in a rough patch. Let's call it what it is. He's in a rough patch. How long do you think he will go before Emery's like, okay, especially with the form John Duran is obvious because Duran came on and scored the winner. With the form John Duran is in, how long do you think Watkins can go to before Una Emery is like, I know what you have done for us. We appreciate it, but just sit this one game out. Let's see what John Duran can do. Just take time and get yourself back to it. I wonder how long that would be. You guys can answer me in comments. Let me know what you think. But that's kind of what I'm taking from this game. Like, how long would Watkins go? This rough this patch is in this stretch of not scoring, missing really wide open chances. This is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, Villa are in Champions League. Once we get back from the international break, the games are coming thick and fast. Game every 3 days, pretty much. So then he might be dropped. He might not be dropped. Depends on. He might get his scoring booked back on. We'll see. But big ups to Villa. Another win for them. Yep. Another. Let's touch on a few all results before we move on to some quick hitters. Brentford 3, Southampton 1. Southampton are yet to get some points on the board. This is what it is. I had them in my relegation battle. Life goes on. Brentford, who needs Tony? Who needs Ivan Tony? Umbemo has Brian Umbemo has carried the load. Johan Wissa also. Who needs Ivan Tony? We Thomas Frank we trust. Pretty much what it is. And I have no worries for Brentford actually. Like, Brentford are one of those teams that I am not worried whatever happens to them. I know they will not get relegated. Like, that's just how much trust I have in Thomas Frank. I love the love I have for Thomas Frank. I don't know why, but the love I have for Thomas Frank is crazy. Like, it's just it messes my brain. I don't know. But Thomas Frank, we trust. Who needs Ivan Tony? So big ups to Brentford, 3-1 win. Second, 2 wins and obviously a defeat, but 2 wins for Brentford. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. Forest won, Wolves won, and the last game of the match week, yes, Forest won, Wolves won. Um, it is what it is. Wolves, I believe. Another coach I also like very well, Gary O'Neill. I just have this Thomas Frank, Gary. I don't know why, what it is with them, but I just believe that they can carry that. No matter what happens, they will always come out on the other side happy, smiling with their team comfortably where they should be. Like, I just have that much confidence in them. So big ups to Wolves points. They pretty much scored right after. Um, so yeah, that's his match week 3, everyone. That's his match week 3. Some good games, obviously. The game of the week, actually, the beating of the week. Liverpool 3, United 1 at Old Trafford. Obviously, with then there was the controversial call in the Arsenal Brighton game that ended 1-1. And City doing City things, obviously. Erling Haaland scoring 3. This is what it is. And then Spurs doing Spursy things, Spurs losing away from home to Newcastle. Yup, that was match week 3, everyone. That was match week 3. So let's move on to some quick hitters before we round out of here. Let's talk some transfer business slash other news. First off, Sterling to Arsenal on loan. I, as an Arsenal fan, love this. I really love this signing. Love this because there's no obligation to buy. So let's say Sterling actually doesn't do what we know Sterling to be doing, right? He can always go back to Chelsea. It's that simple. But I love it. I love it because it just brings another dimension or another area of strength to the Arsenal attack. We know what they can do. We know the weapons they have in attack. So this adding this, I love it. Good bit of business from Arsenal. Sancho to Chelsea on loan without obligation to buy. I really don't get this one, but I think for Sancho, it might be better. I think leaving that scenery of I'm not saying the scenery he's going to is better. Well, actually, slightly better than what he was at United. Um, I just think I don't get it, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I think Chelsea having whatever amount of wide players they have, adding another one, I don't really get it. But as I said, game every 3 days. There's the League Cup, there's the Premier League, they are playing the Conference League, there's the FA Cup, there's different types of competitions out there. And I think they're also playing in the what they call it, Club World Cup also. They're also playing the Club World Cup. So pretty much games thick and fast after the international break. So maybe they do need him. I'm happy for him. Again, change of scenery. I think it would be good for him. Ivan Tony to the Saudi League. This one I do not get and I do not like at all. Why is he going to the Saudi League? And not there's nothing against the Saudi League. I just think he hasn't done it enough in Europe to say, oh wow. And maybe his money, whatever. I don't know what it is. I just don't get it. For someone his age and his talent type, he still has a lot to do in Europe. Going to the Saudi League, I don't get it. And obviously, Brentford's asking price was just a lot for a lot of Premier League teams. As I said, I would have loved Arsenal to sign to get this one, but it wasn't possible. It is what it is. I don't like it. I don't get it, and my opinion technically doesn't really matter. But I just don't feel like. And you guys can tell me, why is he going to the Saudi Pro League? Like, again, nothing against the Saudi Pro League. It's just he still has a lot to achieve in Europe. He's such a dynamic player. Like, it is what it is. Let's move on. Mbappe finally scored. He's in La Liga. He had a brace in their 3-0 win, no, 2-0 win against Real Betis this Sunday. He's up and running in La Liga. His account has opened. Good for him. I think he needed that, especially after the draw last week and some the past games they have played. He hasn't been up to speed, but I think this is a really huge boost for him. And yeah, because Mbappe. Oh, also before I forget, in transfer news, Chiesa to Liverpool, I like this very well. I love this one very well because I think Chiesa is an electrifying footballer. When I think of Chiesa, I think of the likes of Doku. I think of the likes of Savinho. They are really good at dribbling. I think it's a really good move for him. Juventus. I don't know why Juventus didn't want him. I don't know why um Thiago Motta did not want him in Juventus, but it is what it is. He's out of the project, and I'm happy about how they treated it. They were able to find a solution for him. Liverpool is an amazing home for him, especially with the amount of games Liverpool will be playing. I think he'll get a lot of games, and you will see the Chiesa we are used to seeing, the Chiesa of 2 years ago or or a year ago, where he was literally carrying Juventus. I think that is a good bit of business from Liverpool. Obviously, that's their only signing, but I think it's a really good signing and a good business for Liverpool. So big ups to Chiesa. Last big hitter and other business, the UEFA Champions League draw. We also the draw, we also the fixtures. The format is different, pretty much like a league type system. No more group stage, whatever. No. The league play is pretty much ending in all the way up until January. So a lot of games, no groups, no group home and away, playing one team home and away. Um, you play different teams, and I like it. To be honest, I kind of like the new format because you play different teams. You get to test your strengths, you get to see your weaknesses, you get to see how you compete with other teams around Europe. So it's pretty good, but then it is so long though, so long. They're literally playing almost, I think, two more games more than what they used to play in the previous formats. The football calendar overall, I think, has just become so compact. There are just a lot of games. When you talk about like club football and then you talk about international football, like there's just a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they need to revisit it and change it. But it's just a lot of games. But it is what it is. It means football for the whole year round. As a fan, you love watching football, but then when you look at it from the player's point of view, it's just a lot of games for them. But I'm excited. Some really good matchups. I can't really tell you some on the top of my head. Arsenal plays PSG. I'm excited to watch that. So that's good. I think Liverpool play Madrid. So it's good matchups, good, amazing games. Oh, um, Barca Hansi Flick returns to Bayern. That is really good. That's a good matchup. So to be amazing to see. To be amazing to see. But yeah, those are our quick hitters for this week. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back after the international break. International break lasts until the 15th. Match week 4 starts the 15th of September. So we'll be back after match week 4. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And do not forget, this is not the only place you can find us. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. You can find us there. And don't forget to follow our socials if you haven't followed, or if you have followed, turn on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when we drop content on our Instagram and our Snapchat. I hope you guys have an amazing 2 weeks with no Premier League football. The international break is here. I'm not really a big fan of it. If you're into that, please watch it. I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead. I'm David. I'm out. Peace.
We are Rogue Media Sports.